Ever wonder why that one person keeps occupying space in your mind, completely rent-free? Whether it's an ex, a crush, or even someone you barely know, it feels like they've set up permanent residence in your thoughts. No eviction notice, no explanation, just constant mental appearances you never signed up for. But this isn't just some random quirk in your brain's wiring. Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, believed that when someone lingers in your thoughts, it's not a coincidence, it's a clue. A clue that might hold one of the biggest keys to understanding yourself. So what's really happening here? Is it love, obsession, or something much deeper, something even you aren't fully aware of? Buckle up, because we're about to explore Jung's fascinating theories: the shadow, anima and animus, projection, and the mysterious force of synchronicity. By the end, you might see this person in a completely new light, or realize that it was never really about them at all. Jung once said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." He believed the human mind was like a labyrinth, filled with hidden passageways leading to profound self-discovery. Yet, most of us never dare to explore these depths. We stay caught up in the surface-level distractions of daily life, unaware that our unconscious mind is constantly working behind the scenes. When someone repeatedly appears in your thoughts, Jung saw it as more than just a passing fixation. It was a wake-up call from your unconscious. Imagine your mind as an iceberg. The part above the water represents everything you're consciously aware of: your thoughts, feelings, and memories. But the vast, unseen portion below, that's your unconscious, where your repressed desires, unresolved emotions, and hidden fears reside. And when someone keeps resurfacing in your mind, it's often because they've triggered something buried in that deep, unseen realm. Maybe they said something that struck a nerve, stirring an old, forgotten memory. Or perhaps they embody a trait you long for in yourself. According to Jung, these occurrences aren't random. They're signals. But don't worry, you're not doomed to be haunted by them forever. Instead, you're being invited to uncover what your mind is truly trying to tell you. Meet your shadow. No, not the one that follows you on a sunny day, but the psychological shadow, the part of yourself you'd rather ignore. Jung described the shadow as the aspects of your personality that you've repressed, denied, or disowned, because they don't fit the image of who you believe you should be. And here's where things get interesting. The people who take up space in your mind might actually be reflections of your shadow. Think about it. Maybe you admire someone's confidence because deep down, you struggle with self-doubt. Or perhaps you're drawn to their creativity because you've neglected your own. On the flip side, someone might irritate you endlessly because they exhibit qualities you refuse to acknowledge in yourself, like arrogance, insecurity, or fear. Jung believed that our relationships with others often mirror our relationships with ourselves. When someone occupies your thoughts, they may represent a part of your shadow that is demanding to be recognized. It's as if your unconscious is whispering, "Hey, we need to talk." Recognizing this is powerful. Instead of fixating on why you keep thinking about them, start asking, what part of me are they reflecting, and how can I grow from this? The shadow isn't something to fear, it's something to explore. As Jung wisely said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Now, let's dive into two of Jung's most intriguing concepts, the anima and animus. These archetypes represent the feminine and masculine aspects of the psyche and play a major role in how we relate to others. The anima is the inner feminine in men, while the animus is the inner masculine in women. But don't get caught up in traditional gender roles. These are symbolic energies that exist in everyone, regardless of identity. So how does this connect to someone living rent-free in your head? According to Jung, when you're fixated on someone, it's often because they resonate with your anima or animus. Maybe they align with your subconscious ideal of a partner, or maybe they awaken a part of you that you haven't fully explored. For example, you might be drawn to their emotional depth because it reflects something you crave in yourself. But here's the catch. It's not just about attraction. Sometimes, the anima or animus can create illusions. You might project an idealized image onto someone, seeing them not as they truly are, but as your unconscious wants them to be. This can lead to confusing emotions and even heartbreak. Understanding this dynamic shifts the question from, why am I obsessed with them, to what part of me are they awakening? It's a reminder that the people we fixate on often reveal the most hidden, intimate aspects of ourselves, and this brings us to one of Jung's most fascinating ideas: projection. He believed that much of what we think and feel about others has little to do with them, and everything to do with us. Picture your mind like a movie theater. You take your thoughts, desires, and fears and project them onto someone else, as if they're the star of the show. Let's break it down. Imagine you admire someone for their ambition. In reality, this might be a quality you wish you had more of, or perhaps one you already possess, but haven't fully embraced. Or maybe you dislike someone because they remind you of something you fear in yourself, like being overly critical or emotionally distant. Whatever the case, your unconscious is using them as a screen onto which it projects parts of yourself that need attention. But here's the tricky part. Projection feels so real that it's easy to mistake these feelings for facts. You might see someone as amazing or unbearable without realizing that, in truth, you're reflecting your own internal world onto them. Jung saw this as an opportunity for transformation. When you find yourself obsessing over someone, whether positively or negatively, stop and ask, what am I really seeing here? What does this say about me? By recognizing your projections, you reclaim those hidden parts of yourself and stop letting others hold so much power over your thoughts. As Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. So, what can you actually do when someone won't leave your thoughts? Jung's theories aren't just fascinating. They're tools for self-discovery. First, reflect on your emotions. What do you feel when you think of this person? Admiration, frustration, longing. Identifying these emotions is the first step. Next, analyze those feelings. What do they reveal about you? If you admire their confidence, do you need to cultivate more of it in yourself? If their rejection stings, is it awakening an old wound? Journaling or meditating on these questions can be incredibly insightful. Lastly, use these insights to grow. This isn't about changing them, it's about transforming yourself. Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." So now, it's up to you. Will you continue letting this person occupy space in your mind without questioning why? Or will you take back control, dig deeper, and uncover what your unconscious is desperately trying to show you? The truth is, we spend so much of our lives running from the messages our minds are trying to send us. We scroll endlessly, distract ourselves with work, relationships, or entertainment, all in an effort to avoid that uncomfortable but necessary inner confrontation. But here's the reality. The people who haunt our thoughts aren't just ghosts of our past or symbols of unrequited love. They are signposts. They are here to teach us something. The question is, are you ready to learn? Imagine this. What if, instead of obsessing over this person, you redirected that energy into understanding yourself? What if you stopped asking, "Why can't I stop thinking about them?" and started asking, "What part of me needs healing?" Because at the end of the day, it was never really about them. It was about you, your growth, your transformation, your power to reclaim your mind and your emotions. And if you don't take action, if you let this moment pass and keep ignoring the message your unconscious is screaming at you, you stay stuck. You stay in that loop, letting someone else dictate your emotional state, your peace of mind, your focus. You keep giving away your energy to someone who may not even be thinking about you. And that's the harsh truth, isn't it? While you're stuck in this mental loop, they're out there living their life. So why aren't you? Here's the challenge. Today, take one intentional step toward breaking free. Maybe that means journaling about what emotions this person stirs in you. Maybe it means meditating on what part of your shadow they reflect. Maybe it means taking a break from social media stalking or revisiting an old passion you've neglected. Whatever it is, do something different. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. Jung believed that true transformation starts with self-awareness, and you've already taken the first step just by watching this video. But awareness without action is like reading a map and never taking the journey. So, what will your next move be? Drop a comment below and let me know what resonated with you the most. What insights did you gain? What steps are you going to take next? Your journey could inspire someone else who needs to hear this message. And if this video sparked something in you, don't let it end here. Hit the like button so more people can discover this and start their own path of self-discovery. Share this with a friend who might be struggling with the same thoughts. And if you're ready for more deep dives into the mind, the unconscious, and the path to true self-awareness, make sure to subscribe, because this is just the beginning. The journey to understanding yourself starts now. The only question is, are you finally ready to listen?